What's up, guys? It's Ken here. I made my first post once I realized that, I actually did get the community tab, so that's cool. Yeah. Today's video is going to be about the Bop It Extreme 2022. Yes, you've seen 2 or so videos of it, one with me and TGR, and 2 on my own. Actually 3. No, you've seen 4 videos of the Extreme already. But this is my last video because this is my actual thoughts and commentary. Yes, I've did some commentary before, but that was because I only did it because it was the first time. I'm doing it this time because I just want to dive real deep into it. Sit back, relax, and just listen. I'm not showing anything except for this. If you can see that, let me know. If you can't, then yeah, whatever. It's fun. Screen curtain is currently off, but the Bop It itself, spin it, flick it, twist it, bop it. I'm not even going to think about pulling it. The Bop It Extreme 2022 is, in one word, if I could describe it, decent. It's decent. It's not what anyone was expecting. Like everyone was expecting something a little different. Now that I watched Riley's video about it. Yeah, this person apparently has it for the design. But anyways, this Bop It Extreme is lighter than the Bop It XT. Now, I don't have the Bop It XT, but I can probably assure you that the Bop It Extreme from this year is lighter than the XT from 2011. It has mostly different inputs. The Bop It has a different logo, I suppose. It's one that you can actually feel the logo. For those that are blind, you can kind of get a feel of it, but you can't really quite make it out. Same on the other side. Excuse me while I do this. Oh yeah, it's cleaned off a bit. Battery doors on the right side of the Bop It, the circle where the button is. Oh, forget it. Whatever. But anyways, to twist it and spin it and flick it. I mean, all of them have somewhat different ways of doing their commands. The twist it and, well, actually all of them kind of do. You can still play it. It's almost like the UK 2013 XT. By that, I mean it doesn't have a shake it. The 2013 UK XT was essentially the Bop It XT, but instead of the commands being rubber coated, they were all plastic. Although for 2022, about 9 years later, here in the US, we get a little bit of a better or worse rendition of it. Spinet's a little thinner than the other one. The Flick-It is a lot different. It feels kind of like the Extreme, and it has a bit of a pull-it thing, kind of shape at the end of it. It is kind of loose. And trust me, I was careful with the Flick-It. I guess it just got loose over time. I don't know. Oh, I get it. I was turning it one direction. The Bop It button feels the same. Man, I wish I had an XT to compare it with, but I don't. But here's one thing that makes me stop wishing for an XT. Listen to this.
Solo. Blasting.
Yep. Has the same voice, same clips, same games,
Bump it to start.
same levels.
Expert. Master. Pro. Novice. Pass it. Party. One-on-one. Solo.
But here's a little difference. The Bop It button
Bump it
on
to
this
start.
is purple instead of black. Is it because of this
I'm going to sleep.
racism that goes on when it comes to black people being called on or something, or like being called out? Because if it is, that's kind of ridiculous. But no, that's not it. Racism is not racism that does not have anything to do with the Bop It Extremes button being purple instead of black. While it may look like it's the case, it's only because of the nostalgic value that the button is purple, like how it was on the Extreme, the original. However, what would have been nice is if they actually made the Spin-It red, which they did not, and it's the same color as the XT, which is orange. Mind you, the Spin-It on the download was not even red. At least I don't think it was. The colors on the only difference about the Extreme 22 is the fact that the battery door is on the right side of the Bop It button and not on one of the arms on the back. There's no reset button. There's no headphone jack, which I'm kind of surprised. Well, no, I'm not really surprised at, because it's that nostalgic value. You got to remember that. They're trying to mimic that old nostalgic feeling of the Extreme. Although it's not quite. Because if I remember correctly, the Extreme's Flick-It, actually, there was a hole that there was a little stick where the Flick-It was connected to, and that stick actually moved up and down. Now, there is a stick in this thing, although, at least I think there is, but it does not spin around or anything like the Extreme's Flick-It. It kind of feels like the Extreme's Flick-It, but it isn't totally like it. The arms are very thin, like the Refresh arms are. And if you want to know, yeah, this thing has a touch mode similar to the Bop It Micro, in a sense that you have to put in a battery, hold Bop It, pull it, let go. I guess just put a battery in, hold down, bop it,
And I will be back.
pull it, let go of pull it or something. I don't know. But it's different than the XT's test mode. As I said in another video, the actual revision number was XT Second Mask 4, meaning that this is a second revision of the Bop It XT. Pretty much. And I still wish I had the real Bop It XT for comparison, because the Bop It Extreme we got here is not cool. And by we, I mean all of the electronic gamers that have it. It's not, it doesn't have, it does not hold a candle to the Bop It Extreme. It does not. No matter what you say about it, it does not hold a candle to the Bop It Extreme. And yes, I've had a Bop It Extreme before, and it's actually pretty cool. From 1998, it was, it had the voice of Scott Parkin, who I've actually talked to once. Yeah, I've actually talked to the voice of Bop It Extreme once. Like, not directly, but I've been in a meeting with him once. That's all I'm going to say. But nothing too interesting. This has got Buddy Rubino's voice, which, I mean, they've reused the Bop It Classic formula for well over 5 years now. In fact, they've used the classic style from 2014 up until now, which is about 8 years. They have the Bop It Micro, Bop It R2D2, which I actually need to replace. Because, well, actually, I need to replace both the Micro and the R2D2 for some reason. They have the Bop It BB-8, Minion, Groot, Chewbacca, the Olaf, the Grogu, the Spider-Man, and the Darth Vader. Those are all classic Bop Its. Those all have the classic formula: Bop It, Twist It, Pull It. We have not seen a Bop It Extreme in a long time. If you want to count the McDonald's Bop It as an extreme Bop It, be my guest, but I don't know. But full-sized extremes, we have not seen an extreme since 2011. Or 2013 if you, in the case of people in the UK. Which, I'm not a resident. But that's just, I don't know. I feel like the 2013 Bop It XT Classic, you know what, I wonder if this, the Extreme 2022, is the US's version of the Bop It XT Classic, which, if that's the case, then, okay then. Now, are we going to see a Bop It Classic? A modern Bop It Classic? I doubt it. Don't even count the Bop It Classic from 2019. Yeah, I was excited about it, but I didn't think it was going to be like that. And again, used the 3 inputs. Bop It, Twist It, and Pull It. Again, we have not seen a Bop It Extreme until now. And it's the exact same as the Bop It XT, with very few minor exceptions. One being that, again, the Bop It button's purple. Two, that there's a purple command in Master and Pro. And a third is that the Bop It Twisted Pulled command is actually done like every 3 or 4 commands. And that the one-on-one mode gives you up to 35 chances of redeeming yourself. That's it. That is completely it. Those are minor changes. Oh, and I did not mention that. I kind of knew we was gonna see a Bop It Extreme for the modern era, but I didn't think that we would see it like the way it actually came out. And by we, I mean the electronic game community. Now, I'll give Hasbro credit for trying to at least make a nostalgic game, but at the same time, it's not nostalgic. It may be nostalgic for those that have the XT and for those that may have lost it. But for those that still have an XT, don't even bother. Because the Bop It Extreme 2022 is just for those that A, either don't have an XT and want a new XT, or B, want the nostalgic value of a purple Bop It button. And a little bit of a modern design. Now, I would like to get a Bop It XT 2013, but here's the thing though. It's gonna have the reset button. There's not gonna be a shake it, and there's not gonna be a headphone jack, as far as I know. And it's gonna work the same way as the Bop It XT, just without the shake it. That's pretty much it. The Bop It Shell Classic, the same thing. Now, I'm glad that they brought back the party mode and the one-on-one mode, but the one-on-one mode we've seen on the XT before. It's a simple, yellow and green side. You have to bop your button when it says Bop It. It'll tell you which one wins by one person hitting the Bop It button as fast as possible. I think the Bop It app was just to promote the XT. But here's one thing. Bop It Extreme 2022 is the only decent Bop It from Hasbro that is actually decent. Now, granted, if you've ever beaten the XT before, you'll know what you're getting into. Or if you've played the XT before, you know what you're getting into. Me and TGR thought that the follow-up, that this Bop It Extreme was actually a follow-up to the world's smallest Bop It. Well, yeah, I could see that. Because of the way that the Extreme's battery cover is put on, it's like the Extreme. I mean, the Extreme 2022 is nice, but the fact that it came the way it did, it would make anyone upset when they're expecting anything, anything better. Because we all know Hasbro is lazy at, making games like that. There's one thing, though, that the Bop It XT, pretty much 2022, Bop It XT 2022, is it's basically the Bop It XT all over again, basically. No commercials, nothing promoting it. There were no promotions whatsoever. They're labeling it as a Bop It Extreme with 4 ways to play. I guess the Bop It XT commercial kind of can be relevant here, but it does have the shake it command in the commercial, I think. And for that reason, I do not think that the Bop It XT commercial is relevant for a modern day Bop It Extreme, which, to be fair, we did have, we now have 5 Bop It Extremes. And it hasn't really gotten any better since the Bop It XT. Very minor improvements. It's like a smartphone. Everything is perfect. You just need to add very few minor adjustments. Actually, to even just, to even call it an upgrade from the XT is an understatement. It's not. In fact, they took the shake it command away from it, made it thinner all around. Actually, it's about the same. I think it might be either a little thinner or thicker around the button. It has similar mechanics to the XT. Similar. The only difference here is that the pullet on the XT, if I remember correctly, the pullet would sometimes get stuck. This one,
Solo. Pass it. Party. 1-on-1. Solo.
let it go to sleep. The pullet on the Extreme 22 is
I'm going to sleep.
the pullet on the Extreme 2022. It has a click in it. So does the twist it a little bit. Actually, if you think about it, the XT's twisted a little bit further. The flick it is a little bit looser. And so it's the spin it. Although, they are similar mechanics. Just letting you know that. I'm just letting you know that. And yeah, it takes the same amount of batteries, has a little bit of a better speaker, but not by much. In fact, it doesn't even sound. Actually, XT sounded different than the Shout. The speaker kind of, it's really, I think it's a little bigger than the Shout's speaker. It's just cheaply made, that's all. I mean, yeah, pretty cool, I guess. But not really. It's lightweight, it's plastic, it's cheaply made. For $28, you're getting a, if you already have a Bop It XT, then don't bother buying the Extreme 2022 unless you want a slightly better, and I mean very slightly improved Bop It XT. Then that's what I would go for. It's still being sold on Amazon's website. Yeah, it's just, forget it. The Bop It does not deserve anything. Ugh. The Bop It XT is better than the Bop It Extreme 2022. I guess. See ya.